Hey everybody, this video brings us out to Kathleen, Florida. Can't say I've ever been to Kathleen, Florida, here in Polk County, Florida. And the reason why we are out here today is to see something pretty interesting, something that I definitely wanted to see, but man, was it an adventure getting out here. I was taken all the way to like the wrong side of this major highway. I was about a half hour away from this destination. And then my GPS took me down a road right. I literally drove past what we're out here to see because my GPS took me down this weird road that kind of like dead ended, and I have no idea why it even took me down that road, seeing as how where we're going is not down that road, it's right here. I have no idea what's happening. My GPS was taking me everywhere but where we actually wanted to go today. And on top of all of that, my car is covered in love bugs. I now need to see these, look at them. I'm trying to catch one. There's love bugs flying all around me right now. My windshield is just covered in love bugs at the moment. The little bugs that like fly stuck together. I don't know why they fly sticking together. I guess I don't know if they're making love or what, but that's why they call it love bugs, because they fly around together, joined at like the butts. They fly around, and my car, poor Vanabelle, is completely covered in love bugs at the moment. Dead, smushed love bugs. So I have some car cleaning to do when we get home. But anyway, the reason why we are out here, also by the way, parked in a construction zone. Thankfully, they're doing construction down that way, not right here in this general area, because I wouldn't be able to even film this. I would have literally driven what should have been an hour out here, took about maybe closer to an hour and a half, 2 hours to get out here, because again, I drove all around everywhere I did not want to actually go. But what should have been, I would have drove an hour out here, what should have been an hour out here, just to find out I couldn't even film here, because if they were doing construction right here, I probably wouldn't be allowed here. But thankfully, I was able to pull over, and we are able to see what is right here. The reason why I wanted to drive out here is to see one of I believe, 3 of these that exist. We'll have to find the other 3 at some point. This is what we are out here to see. Look at that. A citrus monument, the Polk County Citrus Monument. It says, October 1930, welcome to Polk County Citrus Center. It says it on all 4 sides, I believe. Pretty awesome. Built in 1930 during the Great Depression. Built in 1930, this awesome, amazing obelisk. Very cool. Actually does not say it on all 4 sides. This side does not say it. And okay, this side says it. All but one side says it. I don't know what, like, what a weird structure that they built. They built it so it says, again, October 30th, welcome to Polk, October 1930. October 1930, welcome to Polk County Citrus Center. It says it. If you're coming down the road, you can see it this way. If you're, I guess, coming off that road or whatever, you can see it this way. If you're coming from the woods, you can see it, but if you're coming from this direction, it doesn't say anything. What a weird, bizarre structure, but pretty awesome that this is out here. So apparently, Polk County back in the 1930s thought themselves as the Citrus Center. From what I was reading, it is self-proclaimed. They are the self-proclaimed Citrus Center, or they were the self-proclaimed Citrus Center of Florida. From what I was reading, that is what I read. I believe it was not actually anything necessarily official, but they called themselves the Citrus Center. This whole area used to be, like much of Florida, used to be covered in citrus groves. Lots of citrus out here, lots of orange groves and things like that in the area all around here. Now, unfortunately, that is not the case, not so much anymore. I've told this story before, but back in the 1980s, a big freeze, I believe it was a couple of big freezes came through Florida, kind of decimated the citrus industry. And from what I was reading, it was just going to be too expensive to basically rebuild such a loud truck. We're on a very busy intersection right now. This is like the worst place for this monument, for people who want to pull over. They need to put a little like a couple, maybe like a 4 or 5 like lane parking area right here, like a little, so I'm looking for a little like not a driveway, a little parking lot right here, 4 or 5 car parking lot for people to pull over who want to actually see this. But anyway, so back in the 1980s, a couple of freezes came through, decimated the citrus industry in Florida, and it was just way too expensive, going to be way too expensive to replant all the citrus, or to replant new trees and to get the citrus industry back up and blooming and growing and back to what it once was. And since the area was being very heavily developed at that time, Florida was becoming more and more developed, more housing was being put in, more shopping centers were being put in. I mean, you had things like Disney World was here, and Universal, and all that stuff was either here or was coming. So this whole area was being built up, and a lot of these citrus farms realized we can get a heck of a lot more money for our property if we sell it than we would get by basically building our citrus industry back, by replanting oranges and whatnot, replanting citrus and whatnot. We could get a lot more just by selling our land. Let's just sell our land, cut our losses, get out of here. And that's what they ended up doing. So not a lot of citrus anymore in Florida, unfortunately. But at one time, this whole area full of citrus. As far as the eyes can see, there is still a farm over here, not a citrus farm, like a cattle farm. There's a lot of those still around. You actually can find a lot of cattle still here in Florida, which makes sense. That's where the word cracker actually comes from. They were the cowboys of Florida. The Florida Crackers were the actual cowboys of Florida. Very big cowboy, very big cattle industry here in Florida. That's still actually going a bit. But anyway, that does not say cattle center. It says citrus center, Polk County Citrus Center. So pretty awesome. Wanted to come out here, wanted to see this, wanted to document this, wanted to check this out. Again, took me way too long to get out here. Crazy the way. It's actually somebody walking, somebody coming towards us. Maybe they're coming to see the actual Citrus Center monument as well. I don't know. But anyway, it took me way too long to get out here. Again, GPS took me about a half hour in the wrong direction for whatever reason, then drove me right past it. I didn't even see this because I was too busy making sure I didn't miss my turn. I drove right past this, went down, way down a road, way down there, all the way down to like a dead end, had to make a U-turn, then drive back out here. And then I finally realized, oh, right here's where I want to be. Looks like even like a little lightning rod up there on the very top. You can see that. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Can you hear the buzzing? The buzzing of the power lines. I can hear it. So just as I'm sitting here, just I hope I'm not getting any like electricity going through my body right now. But all right, I'm gonna let you guys go. This is pretty awesome. Wanted to come out here, wanted to see this. Happy I did. Happy I finally was able to do this. The things I sometimes do for these videos, the things I go through to film these videos, going so far out of my way, driving into construction zones, having electricity flowing through my body just to see this. But again, I believe this is one of 3 of these that exist. So the other 2 we will have to find. I believe they're in the area somewhere. I will come out and I will check these out at some point, but had to see at least these. Look at that. That is so awesome. Pretty cool. So I love the history of Florida, love the citrus history of Florida. And at one point, again, Polk County considered themselves the citrus center of Florida, maybe of the United States, of the world. They were just the citrus center in general. And in 1930, they were so proud of their citrus industry, so proud of the citrus they were growing, that in October of 1930, they erected at least 3 of these monuments. And there's one right here. Pretty cool. But all right, again, I'm gonna let you guys go. So if you've ever been out here to see this, or you've ever seen any of the other 2, or you've driven past this, or your GPS took you way out of the way to come see this, leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. I'm gonna go hop in the Vanderbilt now. I'm gonna leave the construction center before I get yelled at, try to somehow back out of all this onto the very busy highway. Should be fun. All right, guys, that is going to do it. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt. Also hit that join button to become a member of this channel. And if you watch this video all the way and to the very end, hashtag, what should we hashtag? Let's say hashtag GPS failure. There you go. Hashtag GPS failure, because even though we did eventually end up finding the obelisk, the citrus monument, even though we did actually end up finding it, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Apparently, though, back in the day, this used to be like completely just like covered over in trees and ivy and whatnot. So thankfully, the town's at least uncovered it, and you can actually see it again from three directions. Not if you're going this way, you can't read it. Weird. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. So again, thanks for watching. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you do hit that subscribe button or you are subscribed, then I will see you guys in the next video. All right, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.